Hi friend, I just wanted to take a minute to invite you to our Lash Biz Babes Experience 2026. This is a one-day all online event happening on May 2nd, and our theme for the year is going all in. We are shaking things up and doing it differently than anyone ever has before. This is going to be an all online event as usual, but it's going to be 100% a curated journey throughout your day as we guide you through the mindset, strategy, and passion needed to go all in on your business to make it your best year in business yet. All lash artists, estheticians, and beauty professionals are invited to join us. There will be guided sessions, interactive workshops, a panel discussion, and big giveaways happening throughout that whole day. And tickets are on sale now for only $199. Payment plans are available. Let's go all in on our businesses for 2026 together. All the details and the link for tickets are down in the show notes below. I would love to have you join us online in May. Welcome to Lash Biz Babes, the podcast for solo beauty business owners who want to build a full clientele and create a business and life that they truly love. My name is Erica. I'm your host. I'm a lash artist turned beauty business coach, lash educator, and social media manager for salons and beauty businesses. I'm so happy that you're here. Let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. Welcome to this week's episode of Lash Biz Babes. My name is Erica. I'm your host. And this week, it's going to be just like a little end of year pep talk for you. I do a lot of reflecting in December every year, just thinking about what went well, what didn't go well. And you've heard me say in the past before, if you've listened to the show at all, that I can sometimes be very self-critical and get down on myself. And I don't know, I've just feel like I've heard from a lot of people that business has been really hard this year. And I just thought, you know what? Everyone can use a little pep talk. So that's kind of what I want this episode to be, just truly because you have so many opportunities around you and you have so much potential and you have so much goodness yet to come and growth yet to come and success and all of the things. And I just want you, as we go into the end of the year, to just keep those things in mind and keep an open mind to all of that and just truly remember everything amazing that you have going for you right now. So, like I said, I feel like I've just heard from a lot of people that this year's been a hard year in business. For me, it's definitely been my hardest year in business in a while as well. And sometimes I feel like it can be easy when you get in those seasons of business to really lose sight of what you're working towards. And I think that's when it's really important to anchor into your why, like, why am I doing this to begin with? I feel like sometimes when that's so cliche and cheesy, oh, we're talking about your why again, whatever. But like truly your why needs to be so strong that it's more important than anything that could go wrong in your business. And that can be hard sometimes because you truly can have so much pressure and so much hardship and so much going on in your life and your business at any given time. But for me, my why continues to pull me out of that time and time again. And it's always like my kids, the flexibility this brings me to be able to be with them during the day. Like if I ever think about, like if the thought ever crosses my mind of like going back to a traditional job, I like shudder at the thought of like having to follow someone else's schedule, follow someone else's rules, like be supervised under somebody else. Not get to go to like my kids' performances at school, or like not get to drop them off at school or pick them up, or having to take my baby to daycare. Like those are things that it doesn't matter how hard things get in business, they pull me through every single time. And so you really have to like, especially if you're going through a hard season, like really anchor into that and just every morning, like, I don't know, for me, like gratitude always, and I feel like that's another cliche thing, like, ooh, gratitude, think about what you're thankful for. But like truly, it just puts you in a different mindset and a different mind frame to be open to like possibilities and more things to be grateful for, right? Because if you're sitting there getting down on yourself, being hard on yourself, and trust me, I've even gone through this recently where I'm like, I was in the mood where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm so bad at this, I'm so bad at this. And I just caught myself like, why are you being so mean to yourself? First off, that's rude. Secondly, how is this going to help you get out of this? Like, this doesn't solve any type of problem that you're facing right now. Like, what are you going to do different? And so I feel like just starting my day with gratitude is such a great way to just keep that perspective of like, it doesn't matter how hard things are right now, or how nervous I'm feeling, or any type of fear I'm feeling around things. Like, I have things to always be grateful for, and that just always puts me in the right mindset for the day. Going into the end of the year, I feel like this is a really busy time typically for most beauty business owners. And then like January comes around, and I feel like sometimes things slow down. It's different for everybody, but for me, January, February were always my like quote unquote slower months as a lash artist. That's just why I always feel like this is a good time to have a pep talk before we get into that phase, and like know that even when you have a slow season, like you still have so many opportunities around you. And I always have to like keep the mindset and the perspective of like, okay, my next client could book at any minute, right? My next lash client could book in 5 minutes from now, or 2 minutes from now, or tomorrow. Like, I just have to keep on the course, like keep on track, keep doing what I need to do to be successful, and not slow down on that just because things are hard right now. And I think that was easy for me as a lash artist, where I was like, oh, well, there's just, I'm not getting that many bookings, and, there's just too many other lash artists out there. And then I wouldn't try as hard to build my clientele because, oh, it's their fault. It's, there's too many other out there. Like, it's out of my control. And like just using that as an excuse as to why I'm not putting in the time and the effort that's necessary to grow my business. When in reality, like, there's so much that's within your control that you can do to still grow, regardless of how many other lash artists or beauty professionals are in your area, how the economy is doing, any of those things. Can those things affect your business? Absolutely. But do you still have actions and efforts that you can take that are within your control? For sure. That doesn't mean like you won't ever have to like pivot or change the services you offer, or update your service menu to be a little bit different, or your pricing or things like that. Like, you might have to pivot sometimes because of the economy. You might have to change your marketing strategy if there's a lot of other lash artists in your area, but it's still absolutely possible for you. And I think that's really just truly the mindset that I wanted to make sure to convey to you today, is that you have to recognize when you're having those limiting beliefs, when you are doubting yourself, when you are like kind of projecting or blaming it on outside sources as to why you can't grow your business. Like, recognize that and decide what you do have control of, and if that's really true or not. Because for me, I'll use that same example again, where I was like, well, there's so many other lash artists out there. Like, I can't grow my business, right? That's not my fault. But I could have been doing more. I wasn't putting in the time and the effort, and I was leaning on that limiting belief. But it wasn't until I recognized that, okay, there are a lot of other lash artists out there, but there are more clients than lash artists. Like, there's plenty of clients to go around for everybody, and I can still be successful regardless of that. Just like an example of this, like, I lashed a majority of my career in the state of Utah, which is like lash mecca, lash extension mecca. There's lash artists on every single corner. And the building that I lashed out of most recently had multiple lash artists in it. In fact, there were two salon suite type of studio rentals right next door to each other. And majority of us in those were lash artists. Like, just off the top of my head, there's myself, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 different lash artists just in one studio. And then next door, I don't know how many they had in there, but at least like 2, 3, maybe more. And all of us were still successful. We had clients, we were booked. Were there times where it ebbed and flowed? And sometimes, that's just normal for business. Absolutely. But the point is that there were so many lash artists in the same freaking building, and all of us were still able to be successful because there's enough clients to go around for everybody. But I didn't get to that point until I could recognize that I had this limiting belief that was like, had this giant grip on me, that like I couldn't grow my business because there's too many other lash artists out there and it's too saturated and yada, yada, yada. No, like, recognize when you're feeling that resistance and those limiting beliefs, and reframe that. And it's not like you're gonna be like, okay, well, I recognize that I think there's too many other lash artists out there, and that's not necessarily true. And it's not like you're gonna wake up the next day and just like never think that again or never feel like that again. Like, you're still probably gonna feel like there's a lot of lash artists out there, right? But it's this continually choosing the reframed thought, the new belief that like, okay, there's a lot of lash artists out there, but I can still be successful. There's more clients out there. There's enough clients for all of us to go around, right? And doing what's within your own control. For me, that was a really hard concept to grasp as a business owner, is like trying to figure out or recognizing the difference between like outside influences and sources that like affect me in my business or just my personal life that I can't control, but what is within my control because of those things or after those things. Hopefully that makes sense. But like I would get really anxious and stressed and worried and like overthink and just all these things. It was just like, oh my gosh, like I don't have control over that. I don't have control over how many other lash artists are in my area, but I do have control over what I do to market my business, over what I do to get clients, over the efforts and the mindset and the habits and like the way that I build my business and run my business. Those are things that I have control over. And for me, I don't know, it's so crazy because like in our household this year, we went full time self employed. So my husband, obviously, I've been self employed since 2000. Let's see, I think I quit my 8 to 5 job in like June or July of 2018. So my oldest son was like a few months old at the time, like 3 or 4 months old at the time. So I've been self employed since then. But now my husband's also full-time self-employed with his own electrical business. And it's so crazy to me because probably not right after, but a few months after he quit his normal, quote unquote, normal electrical job to go full-time with his own business, he heard from the other coworkers from where he had been working at that there had been layoffs. And had he stayed there, he would have been laid off, which in the trades, that's a pretty common thing, I feel like, just depending on their jobs. It's not uncommon for them to cut guys when they don't have enough work for everybody and they like yeah, they just cut down their numbers and that's what had happened. And it was just so crazy to me because like I felt more confident with going full-time self-employed because that was something that was in my control, within my control of like how we grow our businesses and if we're going to be successful or not. I can control that, at least for majority of that, right? Versus I can't control if my husband were to get laid off. And so for me, I felt way more confident in going full-time self-employed and like, oh my gosh, I was so relieved when like, I'm so glad we already had your business going. We've already been doing these things. It just like in my brain and like what's within my control. And once I started recognizing that, a lot of like stress and anxiety and fear and worry didn't affect me as much. I'm not going to say those don't ever affect me because that's absolutely not true. But when I think of it from the perspective of like being able to recognize limiting beliefs or doubts that I'm having and reframe those things and recognize within my control, I do so much better mindset wise. And I feel like mindset just plays such a huge, ginormous role in everything that we do in our lives. Like, I don't know, I even think about like when I watch Dancing with the Stars or I'm watching like a football game or even other industries, other business owners, just the pure mindset that it would take. Like I'll use Dancing with the Stars as an example. Like for someone who's never danced before to go out there, get outside of their comfort zone, to really push themselves, like you truly have to believe in yourself to be successful in that experience. And I just think it's so inspiring to watch those, especially those who make it towards the end, who have like pushed themselves outside of their comfort zone so much and the experience that they have with that. And I don't know, just football games, like sports games, I'm watching that and just like when they're down and they're still going, like the mindset that they have to be able to still be successful when that game is not going the way that they wanted it to, and then to like pull out the win at the end. Like, I don't know, everything in your life is so influenced by the beliefs that you have, by the mindset that you have, and by the outlook that you have, and like your perspectives on things, and like your ability to keep an open mind and to push yourself to get outside of your comfort zone, to still remember there's opportunities all around you, that there's possibilities all around you. Like your ability to keep that mindset in direct correlation with the results that you get in your business. So I just wanted to remind you of that. And if you need a little pep talk, you do have so many opportunities around you. You do have so many possibilities around you. You can absolutely make 2026 your best year yet. You make the end of 2025 the best, end of year you've ever had. You have to believe in yourself and go for it and go all in and wake up and do the things that you know you need to do 1% better every day, baby steps every day. Because then you look back like, oh my gosh, look how far I've come. And it's because I took those baby steps every day. It's because I did what I needed to do to be able to grow, and I didn't give up. I didn't, let myself spiral for too long, you know what I mean? But that's truly at the end of the day what helps you be able to really grow your business is keeping that open mindset. Like business, you've probably heard me say this before if you've listened to the podcast before, but like it's a mixture of mindset and strategy. You have to have both. You can't just do like all the woo-woo mindset stuff and like the breath work or whatever and expect that it's going to make you $10,000 the next day. And you can't just like do all the strategy, and like you're going to hit burnout if you don't have the mindset pieces to go with it. And like you're not going to execute on that strategy very well if you don't actually believe it's possible for you. Like even if internally, subconsciously, you're just like, oh my gosh, this isn't possible for me, you're not going to act the same. You're not going to take the same actions. You're not going to have the same output that you need to like be successful. And so that's why I feel like it takes like a combination of both mindset and strategy to be able to be successful as an entrepreneur. So I hope that you have the most incredible end of year for 2025. Keep hard, kill it, enjoy time with your family. You deserve it so much. I'm so proud of you for all of the amazing things that you've done this year. Even if it was a hard year, I am absolutely positive there were still things that happened for you that were great and that you did amazing on, and be so proud of yourself for how far you've come. I'm very much looking forward to 2026 and all the opportunities and successes and experiences that it's going to bring for all of us. So have the best week, and I will talk to you guys again next week.